must have been something to grow up in the 6th generation with the PlayStation 2 as your console of choice. I was a toddler at the time, so I missed out on some of the all-time greats that would be released, but up until 2019 as I finally came around to find out what I was missing. But picture it, in late 2000, fresh off the PS1, you have a PS2 in your possession. You hook it up, get it ready to play, and you find the controller looks a little familiar. This is the DualShock 2, the primary controller for the PlayStation 2. If you know your PS history, the similarity doesn't surprise you at all by now, but back then at the turn of the century, this might have surprised a few. If you had the original PlayStation controller, it might have been a big leap with the analog sticks, but if you so happen to have the original DualShock, this would have been a seamless transition. I don't have an OG DualShock yet, so I'll be making comparisons with the original. So the big change if you were coming from playing with the original PS1 controller is the addition of the 2 analog sticks. The sticks themselves feel a bit stiff but still function flawlessly, and if you push down it activates a third secret button for either the left or right hand. The rest of the front layout is very much the same, apart from the start and select being spaced out and closer to the logos, and we also now have an analog button for you to switch between analog and digital modes, or between the D-pad and the sticks. You'll have a light that shows you what mode you're on. Expect it to be on most of the time since the sticks are a much preferred way to play. Now it may be early in the video, but we're going to go to the back, but we're doing it a bit differently as we'll work from the top down to compare and contrast. While the controller is still wired, you can see it labeled clearly as the DualShock 2, and the R2 and L2 shoulder buttons are longer than on the original PS1 controller. I'm guessing to make the additional grippage of the sticks less awkward? The actual back is nothing special, just a couple screws and info like you would find on the last. Apparently the screw placement is slightly different compared to the PS1 DualShock, but that's not really noteworthy. Those are the main changes at face value. How does that affect the games at play? Well, it takes us from our world so we can play in theirs. The DualShock 2 works with just about every PS2 game you can think of, apart from those iToy or other accessory-specific games. But you can still play such classics like Metal Gear Solid 3, GTA Vice City, Spider-Man 2, and Katamari Damacy. On a side note, playing Half-Life is interesting, as I had to change around the control scheme as I didn't get what it gave me. Thank God control customization is a thing. Did I mention it could rumble? I know it's a given now, but this might have been one of the first PlayStation controllers to do so. And that's why the DualShock 2 is perhaps one of the best controllers to come out of Sony's PlayStation and the industry in general. It expanded and amplified what was already present, and it would continue to remain a fixture for decades to come. You're gonna have to get one when you get a PS2. It's a given though. If you want to play some of the best, you gotta have one of the best. But I think you could try using the original DualShock as they're nearly identical to each other. The PS2 is backwards compatible with the PS1. How far that goes is entirely up to your curiosity. Got any fond memories with this controller/accessory? Tell me about it by leaving a comment. If you like what you see, be sure to leave a like. If you think others would like this, share the video around. And if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button pronto. This is BrianTheBlue, and I'll see you later.